Hello class, and today we're going to be taking what we've known from factoring, and now we're going to start graphing our quadratics. So we're going to fill this organizer out with all the steps to graphing. So let's get started. So in the first example we have x squared plus 3x minus 4. Our first step would be to factor the equation. So if we remember how we would factor this equation, we would look for factors of -4 that add to give me +3. Alright, so my factors of 4 are 1 and 4 and 2 and 2. So I know if I have a +4 and a -1, I'm going to multiply to get this and then add to get +3. So my equation will be factored into y equals x plus 4 and x minus 1. So my quadratic has been factored, and now I can move on to step 2. Okay, the second step you're going to do after you factor the equation is to set each factor equal to 0. So my factor x plus 4 equal to 0, and then x minus 1 equal to 0. We don't need the parentheses there, so let's just go ahead and erase that. Okay, so after we set each factor to 0, we want to now solve for x. So I have x plus 4 equal to 0, and then x minus 1 equals 0. So I would subtract 4, and I get x equals -4, and then here I would add 1 to each side, and I get x equals 1. Okay, so in step 3 we set them equal to 0 and solved for x, and they were our intercepts. So now we're going to graph the x-intercepts. Okay, so we're going to come over here, and so I know I'm going to cross at -4 and +1. Alright, so step 4 we graphed now the x-intercepts. In step 5 we're going to calculate the y-intercept, and we do that by substituting 0 in for x. So I'm going to put 0 into the original equation, so that's going to be y equals 0 squared plus 3 times 0 minus 4, so y is going to equal -4. So my y-intercept is going to be 0, -4. So I'm going to go ahead and move on into step 6, which is to graph the y-intercept. And so it's 0, -4, so 0, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's my y-intercept. Right, so now I got my x-intercepts and my y-intercepts graphed, so now I need to calculate the vertex. I'm going to do that using x equals -b over 2a and solve for x. So my original equation was y equals x squared plus 3x minus 4. So x equals -b over 2 becomes -3 over 2 times 1, which is -3 halves. To calculate the y value, you substitute that value back into the equation, so that becomes -3 halves squared plus 3 times -3 halves minus 4. And if we calculate that out, you get that y is equal to -6.25. Okay. So now I've calculated the vertex in step 7. Step 8 says me to graph the vertex and finish the graph. So I'm going to do that. So my vertex is at -3.5, so it's 1.5, and -6.25, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.25. Alright, so I know that's my axis of symmetry, so I know I'm going to have another point here, and I can draw my graph. Okay. Alright, so those are the steps to graphing a quadratic. We will practice today in class. See ya.